Hi there, it's time for the weekly video. There hasn't been a lot of posts this week. I just got some arriving today. Anyway, one of which is the Dunwich Horror, a film that I believe I thought I'd seen a few times actually, but I think I would always confuse it with the Devonsville Terror. I think it might have been the Dunwich Horror that was always a trailer on a lot of the VHS tapes I watched in my misspent youth. I think. I'm not sure. It may seem familiar when I finally get round to watching it. It may not. I may be thinking of something completely different. Other arrival for today, the Executioner Collection. There are 2 movies in this. It's a bit more Sonny Chiba. I don't actually have a lot of experience with Sonny Chiba, but I like what I've seen of his work in a limited capacity. So there's usually, for me, always a bit of fun to be had. So that'll be fun with the Executioner movies. We are into Japanuary on the podcast. Last week we did Gant's Perfect Answer, and I'm going to mispronounce it. Yugetsu. Yeah, I've already forgotten the name. I'm sorry, that was Dave's choice. And ironically, the one I can't remember or keep mispronouncing is the one that's won out. It's better. So for the week ahead, Craig has gone with Sonatine, and I have gone with Red Angel, which is, funnily enough, an Arrow release. So it's also, I believe it's streaming on their website. I've had the Blu-ray for a while, and yeah, I'm looking forward to watching both of those. Bit of Takeshi Kitano doesn't go amiss either. And then for the special at the end of the month, we may end up going with you know, a large figure in Japanese cinema, whether it's Miike, whether it's Kurosawa again, whether it's someone like Sean Sono. We will certainly be looking to focus on someone rather than just stick with 3 or 4 randomly picked movies. So that reminded me that these are films I've mentioned before. I'm just going to grab these. But while it is Japanuary, and while other people may want to check out some Japanese cinema, you can find a lot through Arrow Video. Great stuff from Takashi Miike. You know, Female Prisoner Scorpion trilogy. You get the Diamond Guys sets that are dotted around here somewhere. You can get all kinds of fun stuff, a wide variety. But for stuff that's maybe a little bit more off the beaten track, but it can be rewarding, and it's certainly rewarding to people that know their way around Japanese cinema a bit more. Not that I count myself there, I'm constantly learning more. This is a selection of some of the titles I've picked up over the past year or two from Third Window Films. I believe they work with Arrow Video quite often. They seem to share the facilities to sort of either clean the materials or press a disc, so there's something. But if you order from Third Window Films direct, that is the best way to support them. And some of these titles are put out in a way that you know, isn't necessarily a grand moneymaker, but there are some that the person who runs Third Window Films, and again, his name has escaped me. I listened to the podcast that he's on. It's very good. But he has titles that he hopes will make up for other losses. So there's one here as well. So I've not watched this one. It's from Tsukamoto Gemini. I'm not sure how good that is. Do I have a Tsukamoto set? I can't recall if I do. Things are dotted around everywhere. Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes. I can't recall if we covered this on the podcast. I like to say we did. If we didn't, I know that it also got the Dave seal of approval. So that's good. It's very enjoyable, especially if you liked One Cut of the Dead. It has a similar ingenuity and an approach to material that doesn't let the sort of the restraint of the low budget and limited resources get in the way. It's fantastic. Funky Forest and Warped Forest, I've heard good things about. I mentioned this before. That's a great little set there. Zoki, and I've definitely mentioned the Obayashi 80 set with this one. There are some more dotted around here and there. Do not fall. Stay there. I don't have them to hand. Stuff like, well, I can see Haruko the Goblin. There are all kinds of products that they do, including I had a set of 2 or 3 of their Pinku movies, and that was before I recognised Third Window Films as a brand, and I believe they did that as a little sort of boost to get people sort of buying product while they were maybe setting out a more sort of fully formed and diverse release slate. It's a very interesting and eclectic mix. And as I say, if you're into Japanese cinema and you're wanting to explore creators and artists that aren't necessarily the names that people always go to when they mention Japanese cinema, I highly recommend looking at Third Window Films, hopefully supporting them if you can, and certainly checking out at least some of the titles in the catalogue. They are fantastic. That's about it. Just a quick recap. I spent this weekend very busy with a grand total of 4 movies. Due to the runtime and scheduling, I only watched 4 movies this weekend, but they are all worth mentioning, so I'm gonna. I went to the cinema to see Avatar: The Way of Water. It's not a great movie. I'm not sure if I'd call it a good movie. It's a great time at the cinema though. I mean, James Cameron knows how to throw you into a fully realised world and to let you enjoy time there, and then drag you through 1 or 2 great action sequences that happen in the 3rd act. So I recommend it if you liked Avatar. I gave Avatar 9 out of 10, and I've never revisited Avatar for a full rewatch, but I did say in my review of Avatar at the time that it was based on the cinema experience as well as, you know, just the movie. So I don't know. I've had the Blu-ray and I've watched little bits because it actually still looks really nice in 2D. I've just never sat down for another 3 hours to watch it. Anyway, I recommend The Way of Water. It was another packed screening I was at the weekend, and it's been out a few weeks now. So never bet against Cameron. You know, it's doing well. At home, Brimstone is a 2016 Western that features Dakota Fanning and Guy Pearce in lead roles. Has a small role for Kit Harington, and I'd never heard of it before. 2.5 hours long, I want to say. Really good. Highly recommended. I saw that one on Mubi. I think it's just dropped off the main selection, so I don't know if it's still there easily available to view. If it is, I highly recommend it. Really good. It's a non-chronological narrative structure, but it keeps revealing more about characters and the way the plot's developing. Fantastic. I finally saw The Menu, and everyone's been saying The Menu's a lot of fun. You know, very black comedy. I think it's maybe labelled as horror for many, maybe on Letterboxd. I can't recall. It is a lot of fun. It's really good at skewering the a few different targets that it has at its sights. So yeah, that is on Disney Plus now, streaming here in the UK. I can't recall if it's anywhere else. And last but by no means least, and I'm hoping not to get emotional again, I watched Aftersun, Better Late Than Never. A few people have had this as their best movie of last year. It's the best movie of last year. The tale of a father and his daughter. She's 11, he's about to turn 31. They're on holiday in Turkey. Standard kind of summer holiday. The dad is wanting everything to be nice for his daughter. They communicate quite well, but there's also a lot that you realise might always be a problem for them, especially as the young girl is at that age where she still likes to have childish fun, and she's quite innocent in a lot of ways, but would like to hang out with the cool kids and looks on at teenagers playing around, and you know, has an idea that that's how she wants to be in life sooner rather than later. The dad wants to keep her safe, wants to, you know, almost keep her swaddled and precious, but is very much about having fun together, and is, you know, just doing what he can in a situation that you realise has more going on under the surface. I don't want to give any spoilers. I can't remember the actress's name who plays the daughter. She's superb. Everyone has already praised Paul Mescal. He's superb. This is a feature debut from writer-director Charlotte Wells, and it is astonishing. I mean, by the time it got to the last 10-15 minutes, like I was already got, it's a cumulative effect of what you're saying that rings true, of what sort of plucks at emotions that you know, you probably have with you, because we project onto films that we watch. It's just, I mean, it's fantastic. Wells has done a few shorts that I hope to seek out soon. Maybe she's been working through similar themes in those, but Aftersun, please see it any way you can. Please, I hope you respond to it as I did and you recommend it to others. It's a, you know, it's a slow film. You know, don't watch it when you're in the mood for Transformers 6. But there's also a lot going on. It will reward a rewatch. The performances are just beautiful, and it is now the film that has the best use of the song Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie. That used to belong to Grosse Pointe Blank. That was my favourite inclusion of Under Pressure in a film. It is now Aftersun, and it's superb, and it's absolutely blown me away. I love it. I was just so moved by it, and I hope that you give it some time and are equally moved by it. Hopefully. It is my highest recommendation. We spoke on a podcast about our films of the year, and I mentioned Nope and Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's, if I'd already seen Aftersun, it would have been Aftersun and then mentioning Nope and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So yeah, and if it reduces you to the emotional wreck that I was, join the club. I'll see you next week. Take care.